Anyway, I'm going to hand over to Didier and hope that you like it.
So hi, everyone. I'm the co-founder and CEO of OpenBB. And today I'm going to talk a bit about what is the OpenBB platform, but also a bit of our story, how we got started. And I'll keep it quick. My background is a developer, so I didn't have any financial experience. And going from being a developer to starting investing, it really sucked. That's the word, sorry. But it really sucked because the reality is that as a developer, everything is optimized for efficiency. And so you go into the investment world and everything is manual. So you're taking screenshots of whatever you're seeing on a dashboard, you're putting it into a Word document, writing some words. And then next week, you're doing the same. And it's just data at the end of the day. You just change the ticker, you change the endpoint, but it's there's no reason why this shouldn't be automated. And so basically the backstory is almost 3 years ago, my flight got canceled, so I couldn't visit my parents because of Christmas, and I had a week on my hands, so I started building the OpenBB terminal. At the time, it was called GameStonk Terminal. And so it's that guy there in blue, OpenBB terminal. And so today, this is what the OpenBB ecosystem looks like, and I'll explain you a bit what the terminal is. But the terminal ultimately is a way to have access to financial data, but we don't own the data. We basically sit at the intersection between data providers and users. And so we don't focus on the owning the data, but we create this positive ecosystem where there's users and there's data providers, and we are standardizing the data. And that's what the platform is. So the platform allows you to have access to this data through endpoints or using Python. I'll show you that in the next slide. Then we also have the OpenBB bot, which allows you to have access to financial data on a chatting app like Discord or Telegram. This is fully free. There's been more than 2.8 million requests in terms of accessing financial data, which is insane. And yeah, it's great if you just are on the go and you just want to check the price of something or dark pools or any more exotic data set. And then finally, on the left side, what you see is the Excel add-in and Terminal Pro, and this is where we our enterprise products. So these are the closed source front end, but it's built on an open source platform. And I'm going to talk more about this at the end of this presentation. So yeah, what is the OpenBB platform? As I said, in a way, it connects data sources with users, wherever you want to build. If you just want to put together a quick notebook to check what's going on, or if you want to create a full analysis workflow, you can do it. And we standardize the data for you. So if it comes from data source A and B, and you want to combine those data sets, you read our documentation once, and you know how to use it. And so at the end of the day, is 3 endpoints, and you're ready to go. The account login is not even necessary. The reason why we do it is we manage your API keys. So because the users have control of the data they are having access to, we have our OpenBB hub that basically you set all your API keys there, whether there's a premium or you are paying for them or they are free because you just signed up to a data source. We manage that for you, and then you just set up the personal access token. And so when you have access to the data, it just works. And so these are the links for reference. So yeah, three lines of code, that's what it takes. And then one thing that we did was when we started the terminal, I mean, yeah, I wasn't that, I hadn't built a scalable system before. And so I didn't have well, Insight is a beautiful thing, right? Anyway, so this year we spent a lot of resources in basically refactoring the platform code with Pydantic. And one of the reasons we are so excited about this is because of the entire AI workflows that now you can build on top. Because this means that now all of our endpoints have Pydantic data models behind in terms of input and output. And so it means that when you use agents, you can tell what data to expect, and you can use the Pydantic as a validation library. And so what you see there, the first area is the input. And so you have the commands name, and we have a list of 100 plus commands. Then you've got whether it's OpenBB, which is what we standardize. So that means that for equity price historical, you'll always have these type of fields. So symbol, start date, end date, and then you have the docstring as well. And then that's for OpenBB. But if we are using a different data provider, you'll change the OpenBB there, and you'll see all the fields and query params for input and data for output. And so as you'll be able to see in the next presentations, this is super powerful. And I don't think there's any other financial data provider that does that, or at least not as well as us, but I'm biased, so. I think with that said, I think I can introduce Harrison from LangChain, which should be presenting something that relies on the OpenBB platform. So, yeah. Hi, everyone, again. You got me 2 times today. It's a very exciting time. As I mentioned earlier, we've been working in the terminal, which actually Jerry just shown how it looks like. It's a command line interface. We've had over 130,000 all-time installs from people at JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, to students at universities being able to do coursework and exams through the platform. So it's been great. But looking back, I mean, the terminal kind of it's a command line interface. So for technical people like myself, I love it, but it's not for your everyday user. And here are the sketches that I found of the first prototype that I wrote. And I mean, the charts were using matplotlib. That wasn't even an interactive back then. And so we have an amazing team, almost 20 people. Ming has had over 100 interviews with users. And so one of the main things that we've figured out is that the user experience wasn't the best. And so we really focus on, okay, we have runway, we are VC backed, we have an empty sheet. Let's start from there. Let's take it one step at a time and make the terminal that that matches the 21st century we are on. And so today I want to announce the Terminal Pro. This is what it looks like. Thank you. So yeah, so it's not fully released for every one of you today. You're going to have access to it, but it's early alpha, beta, let's say. And I want to really show you it. If you know me, I don't really like presentations. I like to show stuff. So I'm going to show you. And one interesting thing, I'm going to try to show all of the technologies that were presented a priori in the Terminal Pro. And so, yeah. There's one that I need to do a video because of the time it takes, and my dogs are at home waiting. So, but all the others I should be able to do them. So yeah, so this is our home page. We have a news. I mean, if you're an analyst, you know how important news are. One of the things that we wanted to be able to do in news is click to check an article, and we have an AI chat here because I mean, who has time to read the entire thing, right? So. So let's say, yeah, this is going to be hard. Thank you. So let's say that I want to summarize this, and I want it under 30 words. Under 30 words. And so let's see if this works. Thank you, Max. So yeah, here you have a summary of whatever happened here. Move over Barbie Jeep, Cozy Coupe. The Cybertruck for kids has arrived. Anyway, a cool thing that we thought about that is now you have here the summary, and you can keep going. You can keep asking questions. But more important than that, you've got tickers mentioned, right? And so we wanted a way to be able to do investment research fast and efficiently. So one thing that we allow you to do is create a dashboard directly from here, which you can see that it just arrived here. But you can also go into the charting directly. So let's say I click on the charting, I go into a charting of Tesla. You can zoom in, zoom out. This is powered by TradingView, which means that you get all the benefits from it. So if I want to do a MACD indicator, I can just click here, and you'll have the MACD indicator. Our team realized after speaking with a lot of analysts that one of the things they do is overlay financials. So we also added that because why not? So you can see here that you have balance sheet, income statement, and I can click in one of them quarterly, and now I can add it. And it should be added here. And now if I zoom out, you have access to the data of how it moves over time, which is pretty cool. And you saw that earlier that I created a dashboard. And so what is a dashboard? So a dashboard is a collection of widgets. Is a collection of widgets that we created, but you can also create. And I'm going into that in a second. But yeah, it looks like this. You have multiple. You have tabs. This is fully customizable. I can create folders to organize information. If I go into financials, one cool thing that we allow you to do is to transpose the data. So let's say that you prefer the data to be in this format, because for instance, it's better to see in terms of time series what it looks like. And now let's say you want quarterly. And now let's say that we want to use an X-less new model. What we can do is I can select how much data I want here, and then I can go here above and click on the Nixla icon, and this should generate doing like a forecasting of the revenue for Tesla in this case for the next 30 days. Thank you. And I mean, the Nixla team has done an impressive work. It's very, very easy to play with the model. And so if you want a bigger forecast window or you want to change anything else, you can just configure it directly on the widget. This is a custom-made widget. I think it took us like a day to build. So super easy to add things. Then let's say that I'm looking into, let's go back to the overview, which is where I was. And let's say that I like what I see here, and I want to send this to my manager with my notes. So I allow to create a text widget and say this is great. I can change the theme to light mode. Sorry to burn your eyes. And I can export a report, and then the report gets exported, and then I can send it to my manager with my notes on it, which is, again, great for faster investment research, and all of these will be shareable in the future as well. Oh, here we go. So just to show you that it's here. Yeah, and it looks nice. So far I've showed only Nixla, so let's show how we integrated the other guys. So one of the things is that we wanted to focus not just on the analysts, but also on the quants, because we really think that the best investment research teams, like Citadel to Sigma, all of these hedge funds, they're really good because they build at the intersection of not just analyzing the data, but also bringing their own data sets and bringing their own alpha and then combining them together. And so one thing that we allow you to do is to bring your own data onto the platform. Again, we have like an open ecosystem. The platform is open source. The Pro is not, but we still wanted to have the open source being able to benefit the Terminal Pro. And so we allow you to bring your own backend. And so right now, I'm going to go here to these, which I'm running a backend using MindsDB. In this case, I'm using their cloud solution, and I just get home rentals because it was the easiest thing to add. And so I can just copy this endpoint. What I do have here is using Python and Fast API because it's a technology that we are familiar with. And then I create this widget.json file, which basically is a language that OpenBB can interpret and render as a widget. And you can customize this quite a lot. Right now, I'm just going to show you the table, which is the simplest case. But you can really get fancy here. So you can like do bar charts, you can do like Plotly. And so what it looks like is if I go now here, and I add it here, and I'm going to call this guy MindsDB. So I'm going to test. OK, sorry, I had created this earlier. So I'm going to remove this one just to show that I can add it from scratch. So add backend, I'll add it here. I call it MindsDB, test, OK, and add it. OK, so now on my widgets, what you see is OpenBB API, which is all the endpoints that we support on Pro. And then you see the MindsDB one that I just added. And so I can create a new dashboard. I can click here, and I think it's home predictions or something. Oh, here we go. Home rental predictions. I have it here. I think this one takes like 2-3 seconds to load. So yeah, I don't know any jokes, sorry. Here we go. And yeah, so you have here the MindsDB integration. This is data like in real time, so if it changes and I refresh my page, it will change. I get to benefit all of the features that Terminal Pro allows. So one of them is, for instance, chat with widgets. So in this case, I can ask, I'm just going to do something. So I'm going to say, what is the rental price? Oh, actually, did this one earlier. So I'm going to ask, how many square foot does as a home in Alcatraz have, which is this one, with location poor, with 0 rooms and 1 bedroom, which is this one here. So I'm going to click here, and we're going to see if the result is 997, which is what we were expecting. Oh, that's fun. Wait, let me try again. Yeah, that's the thing with demos. Let's try again. Oh, no, it's actually correct. Yeah, it's actually correct. Yeah, so I was expecting the rental price, but I'm actually asking the square feet. Let me ask the rental price. What is the rental price in? The cool thing is that the English doesn't even need to be perfect, which is great for me, because yeah, it's not my first language. So here we have 997. And then you also have the other kind of features that we have, which you can, for instance, generate charts from raw data. So if I do this, I should have a chart directly, and then you can download it if you want. And it's like super customizable. We really focus on making it efficient for analysts and quant teams. And so, yeah, now we have Nixle and MindsDB. So how do we integrate with Llama Index? That's a fun one. So I'm going to show you basically what Jerry talked about, where you can, if you have files, you can give them to Llama Index, and they just do a great work at the RAG pipeline. So if I add price targets by analyst, and then I'm going to add the management team. So here are two widgets that I just added, and what I want to do is I want to export this data as a CSV. That's great. I want to export this one as a CSV. That's also great. And now I want to add this AI document. And this AI document is powered by Llama Index, and basically I can choose the files, and you can see that I've done this before. And okay, I'm uploading them. Okay, it worked. And now I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to ask a question that is here. So let's do the following. I'm going to ask in this data, what was the lowest price target given to Apple? And the answer should be 82. Let's see. Nice. And thank you. And to show that this has access to both documents, and you can give more. What Jerry was saying is basically our goal is to allow you to add any type of document that you want here. I'm going to do now with the compensation. So who has the test? That's good. Yeah, can hold. This is, I think, the last one. The other one is a video. So, oh, here we go. The highest salary at Apple is earned by Mr. Timothy D. Cook, obviously, with a compensation of 16 billion? Yeah, a lot of money. And we can we can order the column, and this is one of the things that we allow you to do. So here it just says 16 million, but I mean, those 400,000 is a lot of money. So let's make sure that we can see them. So I can go to the settings, and I can select more decimal places, and now you should be able to see the rest. And yeah, so this is the Llama Index. And now, finally, I want to show you how we incorporate LangChain. And so Harrison did amazing work. He basically explained the entire architecture, how it works. And the problem with it is that it still takes a bit of time, but the results are incredible because it can literally make queries and prompts that are super complicated in terms of there's reasoning, it uses the previous output. And so I'm going to show you a video because this one takes a bit of time to run. So it's just basically due to time, not anything else. So I hope you can see my screen. So what I do here is I'm going to click on the top. Am I? Oh, no, here's the prompt. So the prompt is the one that Harrison was talking about. So what we do is, I'm going to pause just to go through it. So we check first what are the Tesla peers. Then we go on each of those, and we get the highest market cap. Bear in mind that OpenBB doesn't have an endpoint that's called market cap. It's within the fundamentals overview endpoint. So it needs to go find the market cap within that endpoint. Then on the ticker that has the highest market cap, get to the most recent price target estimate from an analyst and tell me who he was and on what date the estimate was made. So this is a very tricky task. It would take quite a bit of time for an analyst to do this from scratch because he needs to access all the data, does reasoning. And so what I do is I click above on the OpenBB Copilot, which is still in development, and I just copy the prompt. And you can see the circle going really fast because this is 8 times the speed, and that's why I'm not waiting here. So, yeah. This one we know that's going to work because, yeah, it's a video. But you can still surprised.
Yay! So yeah, you can see here that he recognizes that these are the Tesla peers. Among those companies, General Motors is the one that has the highest market cap. The most recent price target estimate for General Motors is $37, which is correct. And then the estimate was made by Dan Levy from Barclays, and the date estimate. And so, you know, this is basically saves you a ton of time. And another prompt that we tried is, because this one is really deterministic, so it basically just saves an analyst time because you are telling the agent what you want to do. But the interesting thing is you can go in the other direction where you want to learn something from the agent. So you can say something like, you know, go through the fundamentals of Amazon and tell me something that I should, you know, be on the lookout for. And so the agent goes through all those endpoints, and because of the way the model was like trained, it understands, for instance, if the PE ratio is a good for the category that Amazon is in, and then it can reason about that. And that's really, really impressive. And we really think that, you know, the future is really nearby. And so, yeah, this is great. Let me go back to the presentation. Yeah, in terms of demos, I think that's what I wanted to share. So yeah, I'll give you a bit of time. This is where you can get exclusive early access. We have above 4,000 people on the wait list now, but because you made an effort to come to the event, everyone that access to will have priority over those folks. And yeah, I know that this is streamed, so sorry. Yeah, also, if you want to talk more with the team, we'll be upstairs right there, so you can come talk with us. We can show you the pro. We can give you an invite there, and yeah. And yeah, thank you, MindsDB, for putting this together. Thank you for the team of OpenBB for coming all the way from Vietnam, Michigan, and Portugal. Yeah, this has been fun. Thank you.